What is going on, Lakers fam? This is your boy Jay Lake bringing you Lakers all day, all the time. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and click on that like and subscribe button down under, and any comments would be much appreciated. We have Big Al on today,
What's up, Jay Lake?
and Mario,
What's up, Jake?
and also Dan. He was supposed to be on our last show, but we had some technical difficulties, so he's back for our post game today.
Happy to be back.
So, right, big win for the Lakers. Another roller coaster first half. We were pretty much on cruise control that second half, and we ultimately resulted in a win for the Lakers tonight, 2-1, leading the series.
Yeah, it was much better game to watch. You know, the Lakers were aggressive. They got to the free throw line, were more effective. Guys stepped up. It was a good game overall.
Yeah, it was a great game. I mean, they're great defensively, right? And I really enjoyed watching D'Angelo Russell just go into his bag, right, in the beginning of the game for the first 14 points for the Lakers. And, obviously at the half, we had a nice little lead. You still know that the Warriors could come back at any time, but the Lakers kept on the dominance in the second half. So it was a fun game to watch, and hopefully they can repeat their performance next game.
When it comes down to this whole game, I think it just showed the dominance of Anthony Davis and the overall aspect of the team and the team defense that's kind of been driven in by Darvin Ham. Great overall team performance. I think, if they keep striving through with this, game 4 should be very interesting for the Warriors.
D'Lo, he had a huge night. Finally, progression to the mean, right? About damn time. We've been waiting for this, and he had a breakout. In the past, we used to joke around, said, no 3-pointers in that first half, no matter what. But this time, he got it going. 3 of 3 in that first 3 minutes. 14 points in that first quarter. All of our Lakers points. So he was on fire tonight.
Yeah, he really carried the team in that first quarter, getting them going. LeBron wasn't really doing much in the first quarter offensively, but D'Lo definitely came to play.
Yeah, usually it's LeBron setting that tone, right? First quarter, kind of leading that team, letting the younger guys know, the role players, the bench players know that, hey, we're here to play, maximum effort. But it was D'Lo. It was actually nice seeing that. It was different and it was unusual, but hey, you gotta love it. I hope he carries this next game as well, because he's meant to be that third guy, right? The third leading scorer, being that third option for AD and LeBron, and it's nice to see him, really perform right now and just score like that, hit those threes. He looks confident when he shoots right now, so it's nice.
Yeah, I mean, D'Lo just kind of went off on his bag. Basically, what we were saying in the pre-show, he showed everything he had in that first half, and just kept going with it. 5 threes, I believe, in that first quarter. He just kept going with that flow, getting into the lane, passing the ball. He was the facilitator in this game for sure. So when he started going off, everything kind of flowed for the Lakers from there on forth. There on forth.
Yeah, so we were doing pretty well until Darvin Ham decided to sit our starters. Usually he sits LBJ towards the first end of the first quarter, but second quarter he actually sat AD and LBJ at the same time. That's when Walker subbed in. Walker actually played some big minutes tonight. That's kind of out of the ordinary because Walker doesn't usually get much time, so that came as a shocker to me. What about you guys?
Yeah, it's something that I've definitely been calling out for. I thought that Austin Reeves was having trouble with Clay. Clay had gone off in the last game. It looked like Clay was just scoring too easily. Austin's just a little too small to guard him, and I thought that bringing Lonnie in with his athleticism helped out, and he didn't hurt the team early, so it was good. He was a solid play tonight.
Oh yeah, he played 24 minutes, more than Rui, more than even Vando as a starter. Yeah, he's right up there. Again, he did really well, more than Dennis Schroeder. So it was a good change. It was a good adjustment on Ham, putting him in those minutes and seeing how he did, and he did well. And so I'm hoping to see Lonnie Walker some more minutes like that again next game, because if it's working, let's just keep rolling with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of what everybody was saying was Austin Reeves was kind of getting cooked by Klay Thompson for a little bit. Fun fact: Austin Reeves actually has one of the lowest verticals, around 25 inches. Lonnie Walker is a 40-inch vert. So that's the difference, is that you're going to put some more athleticism on Clay, who's really just a stand shooter and doesn't really have, whenever he's guarded, it's usually somebody his size and same frame. Lonnie Walker's a lot more athletic than Clay. So it was good to see that he held them under 35% shooting. I mean, you can't really do much better than that, especially against the Warriors.
Yeah, I'm
That's
definitely
pretty
glad.
good. I didn't know that.
Lonnie Walker is not known as a defender, but being on the bench for so long, he had time to reflect on his
Yeah.
status. So he's been able to play better defense because of it.
I'm just glad he was ready, right? He's athletic,
Yeah.
so he was just ready to go, ready to play when his name was called, and
Yeah,
so it's
yeah, for
good. So
sure. Like in the end of that game two, we saw him a little bit. He did hit like a couple threes. I think he showed the coaches that he was ready, and they gave him a shot.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel with this without the starters in and having the subs in, we had kind of no chemistry. There's several plays where I saw a lot of the players kind of standing around. So it was three people on the weak side standing and no off ball movement whatsoever. And there's lots of ISO plays and two-man plays with Dennis Schroeder and AD, and that bothered me. That's kind of when the Warriors went on that 14-2 run. They were up as much as 11 by that point. It wasn't until that weird kind of sequence where when we were trailing by 11, Moody grabbed AD's ankle. I don't know if that was intentional or not. A lot of people debated that. And Draymond Green also had a technical after that, and that kind of sparked our run. That gave us that 59-48 lead at the half.
It was definitely intentional, I thought, and definitely deserved the flagrant according to the rules. Um, I'm glad they made the run because it was stagnant. I think for me, that is a gripe for today. Was like they had some stagnant offense in the beginning of that second quarter, towards the late of the first half or first quarter. So it is a little bit of a gripe that sometimes they just are not efficient offensively.
yeah, it's a habit that we've seen throughout this series, even last series. You see him more. LeBron will take plays off. Even AD will take plays off, and now it's coming to the other players now, taking those little plays off, standing in the corner and doing a two-man kind of offense or some type of ISO. It doesn't really work. And when that happens, the other team will make a run. I'm just glad. I think after that flagrant foul, right, and the technical, that the Lakers made a run at half, went up by 11. I think it was, very important that we went on that run because if we did not, I don't know what the outcome is second half. Could be a little different. Who knows? But I think that really set the tone for second half is making that run. Being up 11 at the half.
I mean, yeah, well, once, D'Lo got his, groove going, everything was going in favor of the Lakers. But like you said, once that 14-2 run started hitting, the brakes had to be shifted. They had to bring back in the starters. They had to bring back in the people that make the moves for the Lakers, LeBron, AD, everybody. With that second quarter, Mario, I think I totally believe you. I mean, at the same time, they held the Warriors to 18 points in that second quarter.
Yeah.
Like that was huge, and they doubled that score, that output too, for the Lakers at 36 for that quarter. So I think I agree with you. I think with that quarter in general, it kind of just knocked the brakes off of the Warriors, kind of threw them to the side, and they just didn't know how to recover from that. And then the Lakers just went on their run.
And AD was huge in that quarter. I mean, he was everywhere defensively, blocking shots, affecting shots, getting to the rim. I thought AD played a masterful second quarter.
All right, so that brings us to our MVP game ball. Who do you guys got?
I think there's a lot of guys that were great, but I think AD was the guy for me. He affected the game in both ends of the court, on offense, on defense. I thought he was huge. So for me, it's AD.
Yeah, I mean, I love AD this game. Obviously, he deserves that MVP. I'll choose someone different. I'm gonna go with D'Lo. Again, I'm the guy that always gripes on D'Lo, right? I mean, because I expect more out of him, and I think today, he deserves my MVP. But even though he didn't really score in the second half, he didn't have to. But he really held the team together and went into his bag first half, and took the pressure off. LeBron needed to score, and even AD as well. To be honest, AD didn't need to have a 35 something game for this team to win. He set the tone, making those three-point shots, and getting to the spots that he likes. And to me, I think he played well this game. It's well deserved he gets MVP for me. So that's my pick.
For me, it's definitely with Big Al, with him, with Anthony Davis, 25 points, 13 rebounds, 3 steals, 4 blocks, only 2 personal fouls throughout the whole game. He didn't really play much of the fourth. And then he went to the line 12 times and hit 11 of them. Now, here's something that makes it even more important why he is the MVP, because in 7 games this playoff series, or in total of the playoffs that he's played, he has 30 blocks. In their championship year in 2020, in 21 games, he had 30 blocks. So he's already above and beyond from that 2020 season. So I think he's only going to rise up. He's going to have his coming out moment, the moment that all Laker fans want to see, and have him have that statue per se. That statue moment is this playoffs.
Yeah, I think I would give it to 80 as well, but I'm really frustrated with his off games. I'm really hoping that next game he brings it, because I don't want to see another 12 points, 8 block night, or 15 points and 10 block night. It's like, from your superstars, I really expect them to do at least, if not a 30-20 or even a 20-20, maybe like a 25-15 or like a 20-10-5, right? I mean, just kind of be consistent from game to game. And that way, all of our role players and our other players don't have to step up as much for that big vacuum that you leave whenever you have those off nights. Tonight, I'm going to give it to LBJ. Even though he had a quiet night, in the post presser, he was talking about, whenever your shot's not falling, or if they take away your driving lane, or they double team you, you basically go to your bag, right? You go to your other parts of your game. You grab more rebounds, you get more steals, you get more blocks. You facilitate more. So I really like his all around game this game.
Yeah, his defense was really good. I think it's been good in the playoffs. I mean, in the past, I've seen LeBron just, you know, pick his spots defensively, I'll say. But this year, I think he's just locked in defensively. I don't know what it is. Maybe he feels his window is closing and he has to be more serious and just pick his, just go all out on defense, and then, have the rest of the guys carry on offense. But I thought his defense this game and in the series has been pretty good.
Yeah, well, the window is closing now. We don't know how much longer he's going to be with the Lakers, right? I mean, he's already year 20, so it is closing. And obviously he was saving a lot of energy in the season for the postseason. And we've seen when LeBron takes breaks. It's obvious when it takes his break on defense. If he wanted to, all NBA defensive guy, he could be defensive player of the year if he wanted to, but he just focuses on being efficient, and oh, we got some in the background that fell. It's all good. But yeah, all good. But yeah, I say LBJ, I think he's smarter, now year 20, and knows when to exert his energy and as far, be more efficient and have an impact on the game.
It's the same thing with all you guys. I totally follow that. I think you got to realize 20 years in the league, we have never seen this before. We got to remember that 20 years in the league. He's 38 years old. He's going to be 39 next season, and he's probably going to still output 25 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists next season as well. We don't know what the future holds after that season, because we all know, the rumors and speculation, but we also know that he's going to produce, and we haven't seen this before. With that said, it's incredible to see. It's incredible to see his output. It's incredible to see just kind of what we've been saying. And I think what he said early in the season, when they started making trades and started, preparing for the postseason, he said that this is his most important postseason for his career, which to me makes no sense, because he's already made it to the finals. He's already won some. I think for him, I think this is like a true testament moment of how he can handle a team and show that he can take breaks and he can be there for the team when he needs to be.
Right. So, I mean, LBJ, even with his quiet night, he still had 21 points, 8 and 9. So he was really close to that triple double, even with his quiet first half.
Yeah.
His legacy is on the line. Like I said before, still chasing Kobe and MJ for that 5th and 6th. But at the same time, he's been complimenting Stephen Curry, because, they're kind of in that same mode. where Stephen Curry has 4 rings and LeBron has 4 rings. So they're battling head to head right now to get that fifth one. Um, Besides that, I mean, I really like how because he didn't really score in that first half, he became a distributor. I don't know if you guys remember, there was one play in that second quarter where he was working at the elbow. Then Austin Reeves kind of did this flex backdoor screen for AR, and then AR drove to the rim and he dunked it. But that was a pretty awesome play that you don't see very often, and I'm hoping that Darvin Ham has more tricks up his sleeve like that play.
Yeah, they had a. I think they ran it a couple times. One with AD as well, like back screen with LeBron in the post. LeBron moving in the post actually helped them a lot. I think it helps LeBron too, just not having to drive and use his legs like that. But it'll be interesting to see how they adjust again. The playoffs is about adjustments. Steve Kerr is definitely going to adjust, and hopefully Darvin Ham can adjust to whatever he adjusts to. So.
Dude, I want to see more LeBron on the block, actually. I mean, he's so big, so strong still. He he has moves down there. More than AD, in my opinion, okay? He has more in his
Yeah.
bag than AD. You know my gripe on AD and how he just fades away. But LeBron's so strong. Get him in the. He's the best driver. He's probably one of the best big men on the block to work moves. He can do anything, right? So I want to see more LeBron, over there, just posting people up and working in. And he's the greatest passers of all time too. I think fourth all time in assists or something like that. I can't remember the numbers right now, but I hope Ham keeps doing that and makes the proper adjustments. As we all know, Kerr will make that adjustment as well. So it's just a chess game. So let's see what happens.
I mean, if it's a chess game, they definitely the Warriors came out, a little shorthanded because Kevon Looney with the sickness. I think that was also really big in letting AD play his game against JaMychal Green. I mean, JaMychal Green is 6'9", LeBron 6'9". That's the big difference right there. And also, Anthony Davis can run the rock. He can play point center if he really wanted to. I think those are really great points. I think for me, I agree with Mario about Darvin Ham. I think if you saw when they were starting to lose that 15, 16-point lead and it came down to about 11, 10, 9 points, Darvin called a timeout, got everybody situated, and then they would go on another 5, 6, 7 point run and just kind of hold the league, and then it blew out of the water after that. So I give it to Darvin, and I give it to Anthony for this win.
Yeah, so for game two, Kevon Looney, he had some illness. Then they played Green in his place, and that's kind of when they took advantage of that first game where there's several plays where they left JaMychal Green kind of in the corner open, and he hit those wide open 3-point shots. Then there were several plays also where Draymond Green drove and then it was wide open because LBJ was guarding him.
Mm-hmm.
But lightning doesn't strike twice. That's why this game, even with JaMychal Green starting, we made the adjustment and we played a lot tighter on his on him behind the 3-point line, and AD kind of sat back more rather than before. He would be switched off onto the screen and guard the 3-point players like Stephen Curry or Klay Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be switched off and he would be off on that 3-point line, and that would open up the driving lanes for the Warriors. But we made some pretty good adjustments this game.
Yeah.
I mean, the adjustment I saw was that they put AD on JaMychal Green. So,
Mhm.
I mean, any opportunity that they wanted to, use AD in a pick and roll, they were not gonna have JaMychal left open, wide open in the corner or something. He was gonna be involved in the pick and roll. So, I mean, that was the biggest adjustment for me that I saw.
No, I agree with you, Big Al. I think I saw that too. And Green had what, 2 points? Actually, both Greens combined 4 points. I think, well, obviously Draymond got into some foul trouble, but still, um, defense was locked this game, and it was, I mean, defense win championships, right? We keep doing this, I guess we'll go pretty far. You got to have the offense on that day, but yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Big Al, on that adjustment. That's the key one.
I mean, yeah, JaMychal Green was 0 for 3, and Anthony Davis took his whole confidence away, and that pretty much ended the game for him there. So, just like Jay like said, lightning does not strike twice for somebody like that, especially for a player like JaMychal Green. So, and even Dre, only had 2 points as well, so they combined for 4 and a minus 37.
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
stat sheet.
minus
So that's horrible.
37.
You know who was the only plus? The only plus side of the whole team was Kevon Looney at +1. Everybody else is in the minus. Is the negative.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, he's at +1. He played
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Yep.
So thank goodness for D'Lo's big game today, right? Last game he only had 10 points and 8 assists. This game he had 21 points, 5 of 8 from threes, and basically he won our first half for us. Without D'Lo, I mean, I feel like this game would have been a lot different and would have went down to the wire if not losing this game. They did interview D'Lo in the halftime. They said, what kind of got you going? Why did you go off that first half? And he was like, oh, because we were locked in on the defensive end, and the weather was really nice.
I mean, yeah, it's nice in California for sure, Southern California, better than Brooklyn and Minnesota for sure.
Yeah, it looks like he's finding his flow, right? He's finding the pace he likes to play at, and his confidence right now is really high. You could just see that swag on him, right? When he's shooting those threes, it's going in. It's nice to see this, and I'm glad we saw in the first half. Usually we see it in the second half, but like I think he's feeling it, and I feel like he's going to keep going to game 4.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to keep his groove going. And like we all are saying, he's finding his flow. He's finding his place on the team where he works, where he can bring the ball up, where he can facilitate. I mean, yeah, I mean, and a little bit of a flex. I mean, they also, had a nice state championship T-shirt on the banners on all the seats tonight. So I think your confidence kind of goes up when you see all your people you see on the sideline wearing a state championship with the Warriors in town. I think that also brings your confidence up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did you guys see that shirt? I'm hoping that they had some kind of contest where there was an elementary school that was able to design.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
All right, so 6 man. Who do you guys got?
For me, it's D'Lo. D'Lo, yeah, he just
Six
came
man.
out ready. Yeah, I mean, he was the next man up. I mean, you could give it to LeBron, you could give it to Lonnie Walker, who gave them solid minutes. But for me, it was D'Lo. Yeah.
I agree with that, but I'm gonna go with Lonnie, dude. His name was called up. 24 minutes, and he stepped up. He played really well. He shot 50% from the three, and he shot 66, almost 67% at the field goal. He did well. He got 4 boards, 2 steals, even a block in there. I give the 6 man to him.
I agree with you, Mario. I think kind of goes back to I don't even know why I'm going to make this comparison, but Austin Reeves is basically Duncan Robinson. So, in terms of defensively, because if you're getting cooked, you got to find something to help him out. And Duncan Robinson got sat for 2 whole playoff series, and then came out and hit 8 threes. And what did
Mm-hmm.
Lonnie do? He gave us 24 minutes. Gave the Lakers 24 minutes, really solid minutes, and got Reeves on the bench and made sure that the Clay was locked up. So I think I give him the 6 man. Yeah.
I don't know. How can you compare Austin Reeves?
That's what I said. I even hate myself saying it.
It's I am him, and
Yeah,
Mario
exactly.
Big Al calls him the savior.
Savior.
Yeah, we call him the
Duncan
savior.
is basically all 3-pointers, right? If
Yeah,
you
exactly.
take away his 3-point shot, then he has nothing. But
He has
Austin
nothing,
Reeves,
no defense.
he's really good for facilitator. He does drive. He plays through contact. I mean, he has other tricks up in his bag.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
Reeves is good.
real quick before we move on to your choice, with Austin, I thought they did something nice in this game where they had Steph Curry guarding him, or they forced him on to Steph Curry. I thought that was a much better matchup for Austin than like him trying to guard one of the better defenders in Clay, or him getting guarded by Clay. I thought that was a better matchup for him. He got 10 points. He's still efficient, and he was plus 31. That was best on the Lakers side. So I thought they are helping him out by getting Lonnie on to Clay, and then maybe that'll help Austin, find his offense again.
Yeah, I think another factor for that is because we work the heck out of Steph. Every game, he works really hard and runs all over the court with Bando on him, with Dennis Schroeder on him. And so That's why he's pretty tired by the time Austin Reeves. Whereas Clay, he doesn't really get as much run. He kind of he's pretty surgical with his three. Gets to his spot every time, and off of that screen, aggressive moving screen, then he hits three, and that's what he does. So my sixth man will probably have to be Dennis Schroeder. He still does a great job defensively on Steph all game, and he stepped up this game. 12 points, lots of crafty moves in there, and I feel like whenever Dennis Schroeder plays solidly, then we have a pretty good shot at winning this game, and I felt like that's what he did this game.
Yeah, Dennis was good. I thought, he's still, I think, their best free throw shooter, but tonight he was 1 for 4. Um, but tonight, whenever he is effective, the Lakers are a better team.
Yeah, I was surprised he went 1 for 4 the free throws. He usually is probably one of the better free throw shooters on the team. He did good defensively too. I like
Mhm.
that pick.
I I definitely think him coming in for D'Lo and even them working at the same time, basically playing two different versions of point guards. I think it's nice because they're both very shifty, so it kind of just throws a little notch into the defense for the Warriors. I just wanted to really quickly go back to Austin Reeves. There is a viral picture on Twitter of him with his feet in a bucket and his
Yeah,
knees iced up
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
at the end of a game.
And the glare in
Because
his eyes.
he
Yeah,
just
yeah,
looks
yeah.
you could
Yeah,
tell he's been
yeah,
running and chasing Steph
yeah,
all day.
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
So
that's so
he's
good.
Steph and Clay
and
and
LeBron's
everybody.
just like
Yeah,
chilling. Tristan Thompson doesn't have a
yeah.
bead
This
of
is
sweat on him, and Rio's just hanging out. So,
yeah, yeah.
but it's pretty funny.
Uh-huh.
He's
That's
getting beat.
good.
Yeah, playoff
So
basketball.
for adjustments, time and time again, Mario talks about all the players have to follow LBJ and AD's lead into battle onto the court. You know, a lot of times when we learn a new language, we tend to learn cuss words first. Growing up as kids, a lot of people pick up bad habits a lot easier than it is picking up good habits. I'm hoping that a lot of our players don't follow their lead in the wrong direction because that one game on, one game off. D'Lo, several other players have been kind of doing that as well. Dennis Schroeder, and it's not even just game between game; it's taking plays off in game. A lot of times
Oh
they
yeah.
take themselves out of the play because they're tired and they just kind of stand in the corner and they're not doing anything for the Lakers on those plays. And by watching our leaders do that, it makes them. It kind of, I guess, gives credence to if they do it themselves also because if LeBron and AD is doing it, then why can't I do it, right? And that also leads to a lot of poor 3 point shot selection where LBJ just kind of stands behind 3 point line and just shoots the ball whenever he gets it. And I feel like a lot of our players is doing that as well. So what kind of adjustments do you guys feel is needed for our next game?
Adjustments. If somebody has it, I don't know right now. I got to think about that.
I mean, I don't know if I say adjustments. I think putting LeBron like in the block was really good. Keep going with that. I'm just worried about next game. We shot the ball well for threes this game. We shot the ball. I think it was 48%, something like that. 48% for
48%. Yeah.
threes. So what I'm worried is that they found love, and they're like, "Well, we could do this. We should like just like the Warriors can do, right? They think they're a 3 point shooting team now, and come game four, they're chucking up threes and not running the offense. They're not going to the paint. They're not working at Anthony Davis. Like that's what I'm worried about. So today they made them awesome, but we all seen this team before. They're not a great shooting team. Let's just be real about it. They're not. So I just hope they don't fall in love with that three. Because I don't think they're gonna do the same output in threes next game. Maybe high 30s, so I'm hoping for. But I just hope they keep going towards the paint and creating that foul, the and one opportunities, because they're probably the best in the league or the most for the free throw attempts as a team, especially in the postseason. And I hope they keep going with that strategy. So that's what I think they should do.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Mario. I think that just not falling in love with the 3 pointer. I mean, they were hidden tonight. We got a 30 point win out of it. You're right, 48%. The Warriors were under 30, which is That's what I'm saying. We got to keep that defense going too.
Yeah.
And then with that too, I just looked at the stat sheet and forgot to mention this, but offensive rebounds, we only got 6, and we had the tallest players on the court, and they got 14. So I think just making sure that we secure that's what is that? That's 8 more chances at another 3-pointer
Yeah.
for the Warriors. So that's 24 points. If you really think if they converted all of that to threes, that's going to change the game. So I think those two things, blocking rebounds, especially the defensive ones, and making sure that they don't get any more offensive rebounds, holding the defense, and then just not falling in love with the three. I love that thing that you said about LeBron and the block, playing that 2-man game with AD and him on the block, and just having their best shooters out there, and then just rolling on defense. I think that's the best game plan that they have so far.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just lock up the defense. Their defense is gonna, basically get them in open court opportunities. It's gonna, and when they get easy baskets, they can readjust their defense. If they're taking long shots at the half court set, then it gives Golden State the opportunity to run, and then not go against our non-setup defense with AD right there in the middle. So taking care of the ball is always important, and then just being solid offensively, and getting out in transition.
Yeah, and do you guys think the Warriors are gonna have another off night like that on threes? Or do you expect them to have a better night shooting threes next game? Like I'm expecting them to shoot better. I expect Steph to have more play to hit more threes. So I'm worried is they're gonna start hitting more threes, and Lakers like we gotta match them somehow, and they're just gonna chuck up threes, and then they get down, and then once they get down by like 11, 12, they're not following the offense, get down by 15, and when they get down by 15 to the Warriors, who's feeling it, it's gonna be hard to come back on that, even though how great the defense is, probably the best, but still, I feel like Warriors are gonna come out better shooting next game, and I want to see how Lakers respond to that.
Yep. I think, like you said, our game is taking it to the basket and getting fouls. There's a reason why we have 5.5 more free throws per 100% possessions than any other team in the league. So keep the free throws up. Keep Dre in foul trouble because he's not going to run his game. That was another big factor. I mean,
Oh
those
yeah.
are things that we definitely just keep attacking the rim, getting in the foul trouble. They can't be on the court if they've run out of fouls. So got to do that.
Right, because I mean, Lakers, we are third in the league in getting into the free throw line. Warriors are last in the league to getting to the free throw line.
Yeah.
So our second game was aberration kind of those stats. So that's when we're really not
I
doing
mean,
well.
that was all the refs. I mean, the NBA
Yeah.
called the refs. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
Eric Lewis I think LeBron is 0-82 against
That's
Eric
ridiculous.
Lewis.
That I saw
All
that
right,
stat.
so
That's ridiculous, dude.
yes.
It
So
was
I mean,
right when all the script writers went on strike too, so it made sense.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully AD doesn't have an off game that next game because we're gonna need him. Simply put, AD's on game. He does well. We win. I mean, if he doesn't, then yeah, everything kind of goes to crap.
Yeah, we can't be relying on LeBron to heavy lift the scoring end, or other guys to always be there. AD's got to show up offensively to supplement, all the other guys that are gonna try and, the bench guys should, score some points, and Rui, if he has a good game, that'll be helpful. Schroeder, Lonnie, D'Lo, but AD's definitely got to show up.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dan said this before. I mean, this team is only go as far as AD takes them, right? And I mean offensively too. And defensively, he's going to be there. I'm not worried about AD defensively. Looks like he's locked in right now. He's ready to go defensively. It's the offense part. This team will only go as far as he's going to take them, and he needs to be that primary scorer. He needs to be the guy that hits 30 points. I know he doesn't have to right now. We're blowing him out. It's 25, whatever. But he needs to hit these 30-point games and set the tone. Send a message saying no one could guard him, right? Because let's say we get past the Warriors, now he has to go against Denver, and that's gonna be a tougher matchup, especially for AD. But like I said, I feel like defensively he's good. Offense, he just needs to keep it going. Be that guy.
Somebody needs to trick him into thinking this is game 3. Like, Just say, hey, you just had a
That's
bad
like,
game.
yeah.
So they need to trick him so he's nodding and knowing what he has to do for game 4.
That way, third game he says, "I took my juice," but fourth game I'm going to take the juice again.
Yeah.
So I mean, LBJ, several times throughout the season, ever since AD got here, he's been saying, I'm passing the torch to AD. In the past, he used to be the best two-way player. In his heyday, he'll be able to play both on the offensive and defensive end. But at his age now, I feel like he shifts between either the primary or secondary scorer or defensive end. It's like he doesn't kind of do both anymore. It's like if he says, "Oh, I have to take the scoring load this game," then I'm not going to defend at all. But if I'm not taking that scoring load, then I'm going to be one of the best defenders, if not the secondary defender on this team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
LeBron. You're speaking about LeBron, right?
Right.
Yeah. LeBron's been great defensively, like we said earlier. And yeah, he has moments offensively. He had moments in that second quarter where he was, hitting threes. I know Mario didn't want him to take those threes, but he definitely was hitting them. And but he had a nice little spin move to the basket in transition from Rui, I think it was. But yeah, I mean, he has his moments offensively, but right now he's locked in defensively, which is something I love for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned how LeBron has been like the primary guy and on other teams. I remember when he was in the first year in Miami, it felt like he was letting Dwayne Wade still have that team, and he wasn't like trying to be so dominant in a way to run the offense. It was kind of weird. He lost to the Dallas Mavericks, I believe, right? Um, and it was in the next year he said, "No, I'm Batman. Dwayne Wade, you're Robin." And what happened? They won the championship. However, year 20, he really wants AD to be Batman. He's like, I'm going to come in when I need to. And I think it's true. I think in the fourth quarter is when we need LeBron the most, right? I think first quarter and the fourth quarter. First quarter to set the tone, to get the team going, and the fourth quarter to just, remind people he is the best player on the floor any given night, and he could take over and and just win a game, right? When you need it to. So that's why I feel right now he is in year 20. He takes his breaks definitely in the second and third quarter, and the fourth quarter, when the game's close, he steps up.
I think the craziest thing is in that game too, when the Lakers are getting blown out, and you see LeBron and Darvin Ham smiling at each other. I think Darvin's like, "You just wanted an off night, didn't you? You should have just sat down tonight." And then you see him do this, like you see him play the defensive player of the year type defense, where he's free safety on one side and then lockdown defensive player of the year on the other side. Like he'll do it all. I think it's definitely something to see in the next game because, like we said, we've just noticed the trend: on game, off game, on game, off game. And if I'm a betting man, and I am, Mario, I'm betting an off game. But we'll see what
Yeah,
happens. I'm hoping not. Like we predicted early before the series started. I'm splitting these first two home series for both teams, so I'll
I
see that
know.
for game 4.
And I think it's the first team in the NBA playoffs, first team that gets 2 games in a row, they win 2 games in a row, wins that series 90% of the time or just over not 90%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really hoping Lakers pull game 4 off. I really am. Just to make me feel better. Just take care of home court. But like I said, if I'm a betting man, like if I'm betting with my heart, I'm going Lakers. Or betting with
Yeah,
my brain, so I'm feeling like an off night.
yeah,
So I'm
buddy.
feeling like.
Steph Curry's
Uh,
gonna have nightmares at 3-1, so you better be ready.
So that's kind of a. I want to get your guys' thoughts on that. So these on-game, off-games, it's not just our superstars. It's not just AD. It's not just LBJ. It's Dennis Schroeder. It's Rui Hachimura. It's Austin Reeves. I mean, do you think this is kind of Darvin Ham trying to fit a round peg into a square hole? Bad plays, or do you think this is kind of a chemistry issue? Do you think it's maybe injury, or just they're tired? I mean, why do you think this is going on?
I mean, for Schroeder, I think he's coming off like an sore Achilles injury kind of thing. I know in the first round he wasn't feeling great. he may not be feeling great as well. I don't know, but for Austin Reeves, I mean, the guy is chasing around. He's beat. I mean, he's cooked right now. I mean, I totally get it why he's having off games. For D'Lo, I mean, he said it himself. He's not a point guard. He's a basketball player. Some nights
He's a
he's gonna
point guard.
score. I know.
Yeah.
Some nights he's gonna score. Some night he's not gonna score. That's the mindset he has, and basically everybody's kind of working defensively to try to contain the Warriors. So I think it's just tired legs and just not the moment for them. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it's definitely a combination of them being tired, also following leaders that take plays off, also away games too. We all know role players don't play as well on the road. So it's a combination of things like that. I think is why we have these off and on games. And D'Lo say he's not a point guard, he's a basketball player. Guess what? You're all basketball players, and you happen to play the point, so you're a point guard. Right, Dan?
Oh, absolutely. You know how I like. I think when it comes to the state of basketball, if you look at everybody that's probably either MVP caliber, they're all playing European style basketball. Luca, Jokic, Joker, all them. I think when D'Lo says something like that, I hope he means it like those players and not just like, oh, I want to be a basketball player. Like no, 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 no. You play all positions. Um, Outside of all that, I mean, they had a tough series with Memphis only because Memphis is literally on the other side of the states. They had to actually travel. They could take a 30-minute flight to San Francisco. So this is chill. They're chilling. I think for LeBron, he just needs to get his mindset. Let's get out of the second round, get some more rest. And I know the NBA and Adam Silver would love this to go 7 games because right now their pockets are heavy and they're loving every single second of this. So I think, yeah, obviously they'd want to see it go longer, but if LeBron and them play like this, I mean, and potential big people on the Warriors staff like Kavon still ends up being sick for the next game, like it's gonna be Lakers all the way.
And this isn't like anything that is different from what's going on in the other playoff series.
Yeah.
There's other bench players that aren't scoring
Mhm.
Yeah.
consistently, other role players that aren't scoring consistently. The only one that's weird is your superstar, AD, that's, having off games. So that's the only weird one. But like these role players in every other series, there's on and off games. You know, so to me, it's normal stuff.
Yeah, I mean that sounds about all right. With the fatigue issue, adjustments, matchup issues. When you're playing somebody bigger than you or somebody that's slower than you, then you go off on that said night. So yeah, so I mean, I think that about wraps it up. There's that one thing about Bronny James. He said, "I accept the USC offer," so he's going to be playing at USC, and that means we get LeBron for another year at least, right?
Yeah, LeBron is here for one more year after this season, and I expect him to go wherever Bronny's going if Bronny gets drafted. But if a team wants LeBron, just draft Bronny.
Yeah, I mean, are we surprised that Bronny went to USC? I'm not. I saw that coming. Will he start? I don't know. We'll see. I heard he might earn like $5.9 million with that NIL uh, new thing with the collegiate athletes earning money. So highest earning money as an athlete. Yeah, he'll break that record. But yeah, so LeBron another year, and then we'll see what happens after that. But I'm glad Bronny picked USC. I'm a big USC fan. I remember Dan and I would go to USC games, tailgate, some good
Yep.
times.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm excited to watch him play next season at USC.
I mean, yeah, I mean, when Bronny announced USC, I mean, like Mario said, we all knew what was happening. If he's not going to Oregon and sitting at the Nike facility just making shoes for his dad, he's definitely doing. He's definitely at USC earning big bucks. And how funny is it going to be that LeBron next season's going to have an ankle twist for the home opener of the USC game? He wants to see his son play. I think. I know that everybody's saying, "Oh, LeBron's for sure gone." So we all kind of agree. Bronny is not necessarily a lottery pick come next year, the following year, right? He's not a
Yep.
top 10 pick. What if the Lakers just draft him in the second round? They trade away Lonnie Walker and hold him and put him on the team. Like what's stopping them from doing that to ensure LeBron stays with the Lakers? You know what I mean? And end his career as a Laker.
The problem
Is
with
that
that is that they traded all their picks away.
no?
I mean,
They trade all their picks, but they
they
could get rid of a decent player like Lonnie for a
right,
second round pick.
right. If they're able to keep Lonnie, then
Yeah,
sure. But Lonnie's a free agent after this year as well, and we'll see who we're able to keep to
yeah,
get a draft pick to draft Bronny. But yeah, I don't know. We have no picks. We traded all our second round picks for Rui, and then we
yeah.
traded first round picks for AD and countless other guys. So we'll see.
Yeah, but if other teams know LeBron wants to play with his son,
Yeah.
Bronny, he's not a lottery pick per se, but teams would be like, "Well, I'm just gonna snatch Bronny, and then
Yeah.
LeBron's gonna come over here anyways." So
Yeah.
you
What's to
get
stop like Denver, who's
yeah,
oh, we're gonna have the 30th pick. Why not just get Bronny, and then we'll have LeBron, and we'll have a super team, right? I
exactly,
mean
right?
the playbook's there for everybody.
hmm
I mean,
I mean, I'm
OKC has
thinking.
like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say OKC has 2,200 picks. They could just be like, we'll just throw one at Bronny
Yeah.
and just bring Bron here. You
hmm
know, I was just gonna say like anybody could do what we're saying, but
Yeah,
I'm just saying like whoever they retain after this year for trade assets for a second round pick to get Bronny, I think would be the goal for them. So, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm thinking he probably goes mid to late first round just for the fact that they wanted to get LBJ.
that's
Yeah,
high.
yeah, that's super high. That's such
That's
a
high.
It is
yeah,
high. It
yeah.
is high, but I mean, honestly, I
For
don't
one
think
year of
LBJ is
LeBron,
going
it's super
anywhere.
high too.
It is.
I think LBJ is going to ride into the sunset with the Lakers, and his media empire is here. All of his investments, his family, everything's in LA. So
Right.
at the end of
Hopefully,
the day, I think LBJ is ending his career with the Lakers. And I
yeah.
mean,
Hope so.
he
I
did
don't.
change his tune. Also, he originally said, "Whoever drafts Bronny, I'm going to go to that team." But then afterwards, he said, "Well, as long as I get to play against Bronny in the NBA, I'll be okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really see him going to the Clippers. I mean, like it's in LA, but I don't see that happening. Like I don't see him switching uniforms for the B squad. So
Yeah,
I definitely
seriously.
think when they do load management, or if they even enforce it like the NBA, I think you'll see LeBron at a lot of USC games, and then you'll get more of a sense of where Bronny's going to be going as far as a draft pick. You know, so I see it that way
Yeah.
too.
All right, so Lakers fam. There's another stat. Usually they said first to 2 game wins 90% of the time for the series. Also, our Lakers are undefeated at home so far since March. So
Jeez.
everything's looking on the up. Lakers fam, you heard it here first. If you agree or disagree with what we said, just go ahead and leave it down below. We'll see you next game.
thank you.
Later, guys.
All right, take care.